Hello, good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video title Toxic Empathy. When kindness starts destroying your life. Have you ever said yes when every part of you wanted to say no? Have you ever sacrificed your peace just to keep someone else happy? Have you ever carried someone else's problem so long that you forgot how to solve your own? If answer is yes, then this video could change the way you see kindness forever. Because today we are talking about something that sounds noble but can quietly destroy your happiness. It is called toxic empathy. Empathy is one of humanity's greatest strengths. It allows us to understand another person's pain, comfort those who are struggling, and build meaningful relationships. But like medicine, too much of it, or empathy without boundaries, can become poison. Let's discover why. What is toxic empathy? Empathy means feeling with someone. Toxic empathy happens when you become so emotionally invested in another person's struggle that you ignore your own needs, values, and well being. Instead of helping someone stand, carry them. Instead of supporting them, you become responsible for their life. Instead of compassion, empathy becomes self sacrifice. And that's where the problem begins. Because no one can pour from an empty cup. The story of the lifeguard. Professional lifeguards are trying to rescue drowning people. But here is something surprising. If a drowning person panics and grabs the lifeguard too tightly, they can pull the rescuer underwater. That's why lifeguards are trained to protect themselves first. They know one simple truth: if the rescuer drowns, nobody survives. Life works exactly the same way. If you lose your mental health trying to save everyone else, eventually you won't be able to help anyone, not even yourself. Why do people fall into toxic empathy? Many people confuse kindness with self-sacrifice. They believe if I don't help, I am selfish. If I say no, they will stop loving me. It's my responsibility to fix everyone. Often these beliefs begin in childhood. Children grow up constantly pleasing others, become adults who feel guilty whenever they prioritize themselves. They become emotional caretakers. But remember this: you are responsible for your actions, not for everyone else's emotions. The emotional cost. People trapped in toxic empathy often experience constant stress, emotional exhaustion, burnout, anxiety, loss of identity. They observe everyone's pain while silently ignoring their own. Slowly, they forgot what happiness even feels like. The tragedy is that many people praise them for being so caring, but inside they are falling apart. When helping becomes enabling, imagine a young man who repeatedly borrows money because he refuses to work. Every month, his friend rescues him financially. At first, it seems generous, but after years, nothing changes. Why? Because every rescue removes the need for responsibility. Sometimes helping someone too much prevents them from growing. Real compassion isn't always making life easier. Sometimes compassion means allowing people to face the consequences that teach them valuable lessons. Growth often begins where comfort ends. Healthy empathy has boundaries. Healthy empathy says, I understand your pain. I care about you. I will support you. But it also says, I cannot live your life for you. I cannot destroy myself trying to save you. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors. You decide who enters, when they enter, and how long they stay. Without boundaries, kindness becomes exploitation. You cannot heal everyone. Some people don't want a solution. They want they only want someone to absorb their negativity. Others repeatedly create chaos because someone is always there to clean it up. You can offer advice, you can provide support, you can pray for them, but you cannot force anyone to change. Change begins only when a person chooses it. Don't confuse caring with controlling. The oxygen mask principle, every airline gives the same instruction. In an emergency, put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. Why? Because if you lose consciousness, you cannot save anyone else. Life follows the same principle. Take care of your physical health, protect your mental peace, rest without guilt, say no without shame, choose relationships that also nourish you. Self care isn't selfish, it's a responsibility. Signs you may be suffering from toxic empathy. Ask yourself these questions. Do I constantly feel responsible for other people's happiness? Do I feel guilty whenever I refuse a request? Do I neglect my own goals while solving everyone else's problem? Do emotionally draining people always find me? Am I exhausted when though I spend my life helping others? If several answers are yes, it's time to rebuild healthy boundaries. How to practice healthy compassion. First, learn to say no respectfully. Second, separate compassion from responsibility. Third, help only when it doesn't destroy your own stability. Fourth, encourage people to solve their own problems. Fifth, remember that protecting your own peace is not a crime. Your energy is limited. Spend it wisely. The simple words carry the power to transform an ordinary life into an extraordinary life.